Okay, after multiple interruptions and retries and resets, we're back in the breeding cage again. Here's the couples that I'm starting with. This is Hedwig and Verde. They bred successfully in November. However, Hedwig got sick, and I now realize it was probably the Giardia. But I managed to save the babies and keep them going. So hopefully this time it'll be a trouble-free deal. They're very peaceful and happy there in their little nest box. They've already checked it out, and they're doing what a bonded pair does. Just kick back, relax, watch the scenery for a few days, and then we'll get busy. There is Aqua and his lady Rainbow. Again, a well-bonded pair. They bred with somebody else before I bought them. Came with a couple of chicks, with a few chicks, and then abandoned them because of the move. And I put them together earlier in the year, and they didn't do much of anything. And I'm hoping that this time will be the charm. They're very tightly bonded. These two are both yellow faces. He's a single factor yellow face normal. She's a single factor. She looks like a double factor yellow face. But I found out with their first set of chicks that she's a single factor yellow face that has a single dark factor. So she's a cobalt. And at the same time, she's a spangle. So I'm still looking. The Breeders Association doesn't let you show single factors. You have to have a double factor to show them. So these two should throw about 1 to 4 of their babies should be double factors, yellow faces. So that's what I'm looking for out of these two. Oh, I forgot. And these two are both gray. Hedwig is actually pretty rare. You don't see a lot of birds with that kind of coloration. So I am looking for a baby that looks like her, only Hedwig has... So what they are is they're both grays. He's a yellow-based gray. She's a white-based gray. They are both opaline. They are both cinnamon. And Hedwig, to get that ultra light milk chocolate color, is a clear flight pied. She has 1 clear wing feather and 1 clear tail feather. But in her last batch, she did throw a really well-marked clear flight pied, and that had all of his primary flights and all of his tail feathers were clear. So I'm looking for that again, only that one was in the yellow base, and I want a white-based one. So that's what I'm looking for them. One that looks just like Hedwig, only with better pied markings. This is Blue and Fancy up here. He's a normal. She's a yellow face normal. They tried to breed once before and abandoned ship, but they've been a bonded pair for a long time, but I have been trying to get them to breed again since November. This will be their 3rd try, and Fancy just hasn't gone there. Maybe the 3rd time will be the charm, but I'm not really holding my breath. She's not even, her cere is white, light blue, like she's not even ready to breed. I'm going to leave them together for a week or two. If she doesn't start making some serious moves, I'm going to switch her out, put her in the bachelorette cage, and bring Cloud in to breed the blue. Because he's ready and doing his job. She just isn't going there. She's never been a strong bird as far as health goes. So maybe she just isn't going to be a breeder. We'll see. But I'm going to give her this one last chance to get with her blue. There's good old Sprite and Fluffy up there. They have bred twice. And last time they've been foiled, and I think it was the Giardia that foiled them. So I'm really hoping this time they'll get what they need, and they can, they've laid eggs. The eggs had embryos in them. They just didn't quite make it that far. So, and she's had the first batch, the baby that hatched died immediately, and I didn't know that I had Giardia back then. So I'm wondering if that's probably what that was about. So hopefully we're clear, and these guys will be good to go. This is, oops, let me back up a little bit because they're doing distance. This is Gray, who I believe is actually a mauve. He's a double dark factor blue and not a gray. And that is Breezy. Breezy's my interesting girl. She's either, she's a spangle. She's either a yellow-based parakeet that has a violet factor because she has this wash of blue, or perhaps she's a golden face. I'm not sure which, but I'm really glad I'm breeding her to gray because he's white-based, And he's a double factor dark, so if it's violet, we'll get a violet chick in there eventually. If she's a yellow face, I don't know how that'll play out. We'll just have to see. The other thing about these two that's interesting is she never got an iris in her eye. She's got solid dark eyes as though she is crossed with a, what do you call it, a recessive pied. And Gray over here has the white spot on the back of his head. It's like two little feathers that are white, and that is also supposed to be a sign that he's crossed with a recessive pied. So wouldn't it be cool if they just threw out a recessive pied baby at one point or another? Okay, so that is my, and I forgot to mention, just to recap, these two, Sprite and Fluffy, are both spangles. I'm hoping for a double factor spangle in there, which would be pure yellow. Fluffy is also a pied, a single factor dominant pied, so about half their babies should be pied. She doesn't have the greatest markings, but that doesn't really seem to make any difference when it comes to babies. Either they come up with good markings or they don't. And she has a single dark factor, and he doesn't. So we either get light green or dark green babies out of these two. And I never know. Maybe they're split to blue, and we'll get one of those too. So that's the breeding shed. Back up and running again after the Giardia fiasco. Cross your fingers, we're going to get more babies.